All right, guys, storm brewing in, but we're ready. Next to the lift, first thing we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get in here and pull the console out so I could get the shifter out, and then we'll go ahead and get the car up in the air and start disassembling it. So let's go ahead. Hey guys, just real quick, I'll show you. Take those two center bolts out there, take these two bolts out, and then start working your way around the top covers here. Get all those screws out. And then you'll go ahead next, I'll go ahead and pull the faceplate off of that. I'll pull the radio, kind of pull that out and undo the two bolts there behind that plate. And then pretty much this thing is ready to come out. One of the things I'm doing as I pull these screws out, I am, since I just got all new screws, I'm putting these in this nice little tray. So I'm gonna do this for the whole swap here for the transmission. Just keep all the bolts nice and organized. Of course, we gotta get this shifter ball off. I got the cover off for the shifter. So the shifter plate, the boot, knob, all that. Went ahead and took this front cover off, took the radio off. It's basically just one connection and your antenna. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts there. And then go ahead and take out a couple more bolts here that are holding on your console to the metal frame here. Go ahead. You know what? I don't think I had to do that one because that actually stays with the metal frame, which is, I think, gonna stay. I don't know, we'll see in a minute. Anyway, that's basic. All right guys, so that's the upper console is off. Now we'll go ahead and pull this lower console because this has to come out in order to get to the, basically your boot bolts around there. So we'll go ahead and work on that. All right guys, with the lower console removed, just a couple bolts right here and then a couple up front. I'm gonna remove these boot self-tapping screws or bolts here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this boot off and we should be pretty close. All right guys, got the lower boot off, pretty much just some screws around here. And next we'll go ahead and get this tick shifter off. Now again, the good cool thing about this tick shifter is there's no silicone to clean off. It's a gasket, so very nice. So I'll go ahead and get these 4 bolts off, and then we're ready to get this car up in the air and start the fun stuff. Bam, there you go. Now, that's the T56, so we're pretty much there. All right guys, we got the car up in the air. Ready to get some work done here. So I'll walk you through real quick what we're gonna do. Honestly, it should be pretty easy, quote unquote. So you see here, the way my exhaust is ran through the hooker cross member there, so super nice. We'll go ahead and get this exhaust off, get the torque arm off, pull the drive shaft out, okay? And once we get the drive shaft out, we're basically gonna be pulling the cross member, unbolting the, now what's cool is I'm not unbolting the bell housing because it's not like the clutch install, so we're basically unbolting these, which is a lot easier to get to than these. But if you decide to do them, they're long extensions. Get a little wobble joint at the end so I can get a little bit of an angle for the ones up top. And then what I did is I just kind of ran it back through here. So once you figure out the right combination, it's actually pretty easy. Alright guys, got the exhaust off. Bam, got that off. There we go. You can see there, nice little hoops. Nice little view how that works. Gotta have them hoops, man. Unless you got a 4x4 third gen. Alright, next thing we're gonna go ahead and get this torque arm off. So that's gonna be the next piece. Let's go ahead and get that done. All right guys, let me catch you up. Get ready to pull the drive shaft. So I've got the torque arm out, just sitting over there. Pretty easy. Now what I do is I just slip it out of there. I kind of keep that pretty greased up. So once you get out these two long bolts right here, pop them through right here. And then just take a crowbar or some kind of pry bar. You can put it up behind it and just kick it back. So you may see that in the time lapse. So we got that out. Next we're going to go ahead and do the drive shaft. Take that out. But I'm going to go ahead first and drain the fluid out of here, because once you start to drop this down, it'll start leaking out of the tail shaft, and I don't have a plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain some of this anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, guys. And there's just a little plug here. You see there? And it just takes basically your 3/8 drive, undo that screw, and bam. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and take this drive shaft off. Basically you have 2 bolts on each side. These are 7/16. I like to use a box wrench. These look a little messed up anyway, but I like to get it nice and tight. So get those 2 and then spin your tire around and get the other side. Get these 2. Now you can do your parking brake or put it in gear to keep this from moving while you unloosen these and tighten them. Me, I've got the car up in the air and I've got it in neutral, and I got the parking brake off, so I could do this, spin it around and get to the other side. So I'll probably just take a pry bar or something like that here up in the yoke and get it. So I'll go ahead and take these 4 off, and the drive shaft will just, once you get those out, you can just pull the drive shaft backwards and it'll slip. It'll come right out of the slip. It'll come right out here of these splines. All right guys, all right, there's a recap. We got the exhaust out, got the torque arm, but here you go, we got that out. And now we're ready to go ahead and put the transmission jack under this to support it. And then I'll go ahead and start loosening up the transmission bolts going around it. And we'll have to go ahead and take off this Holley or hooker cross member and then pull it out. And the job's halfway done, guys. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start unbolting this all the way around. We don't have to take the bell housing off, so we should be all set. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take there's 3 bolts actually. There's 2 main bolts where the stock cross members bolt on, but the Holley has a couple more where you actually have to feed through the hole through the frame rail here, and there's a backing plate on the other side of this. So there's actually two more mounts here, 2 more bolts here that you got to get. All right, cross member is unbolted, 3 bolts on each side. Now I just need to get the rest of the bolts around the top. And again, I think you just use some long extensions with a little wobble or universal joint at the end of it. And pretty much that's it. I like to loosen this first so I can drop it down some to get to some of those top bolts. There you go. I think that's the best way as far as I've seen. All right, guys, got this slip joint for the yoke, putting the 1350 by 1310 U-joint in, and I got it in a press, and I'm just going to press those 2 caps, making sure everything is staying pretty smooth. Now, I may have to do this a little bit more just to be able to get the clip in, so we'll see. But I had to get this cut 0.33 inches off by a drive shaft shop and have them re-bevel it here because apparently, and thanks to my buddy Sean Foster, and I verified this, this is just a little bit too long. So I went ahead and had this shortened a little bit, 0.33 inches. All right, guys, now to get this U-joint out there, this is stock GM U-joint. This is out of a 4th gen aluminum drive shaft. So we'll need to heat it up, and there's a little nylon or some type of plastic that's around it. So we need to heat that up until it kind of comes out. All right, Z-Man's on the camera.
Hey.
Chris Bless. Hey, Stan Kennedy. We're a Fireball Mullet. We're getting ready to put the new Magnum F in. Yeah, this sexy beach right here.
Yeah, alrighty then. Let's do it.
Definitely nice. Well, I should put that stuff on while it's on my... Or no, I could do it on it. Yeah, do it on the car. Going in and out. I don't know about this one. The other one goes in and out really nice.
There we go.
Yeah. Now it's just a matter of lining the dowel pins up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and that needs to go up.
There it goes. Hey.
There we go.
Lion. That's
Yeah.
how we do in Denver.
A little bit farther. Right, make sure all of our hoses, cables, everything's clear. Feel anything. So we should be able to just go ahead and push the rest of the way. There we
Yay! All right.
go. Bam.
Hell yeah, brother.
Go ahead and get a couple of bolts started. Make sure
Your
you're
handy dandy bolt organizer.
You didn't come with a label maker and everything?
It was leaking.
Oh, okay. All right. Understandable then.
This is good practice for you, Chris.
Yeah, right.
Chris is getting the other T56 in case you guys are wondering.
Right.
I think we're crooked a little bit.
Yeah.
Not the way I like it. She's pulling her in. Hit the rest by hand.
Hey. Fred, Hurricane Fred.
Fred?
Yeah.
There you go.
Didn't they have one called Wilma that came through? We're gonna have the whole Flintstone. Pretty,
You know, it's
family
funny,
pretty soon.
At my job, that's what all of our equipment is. It's cartoon characters. We got Fred, Bam Bam,
Barney,
yeah, we got all of them.
Dino.
Dino, yep.
Nice. Cool, brother. Well, let me get you loaded up then on your. All right, we got it bolted in, guys. It's in its new home. So now we're going to go ahead and get these. We'll get the cross member bolts mounts on. Stevie here. Stevie, what do you want to tell the guys? I mean, you got some cool 80s show, right?
Definitely Friday night. It's the Friday night old school jam. It's on 99.1 FM. 99 Jams the Berg in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, man.
Also-
I was dialing into it, man.
Yep.
Good stuff.
We take you back in the day, all the way. Vintage commercials, music, the style of announcing, including even the studio as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
if you want to go back to a better time, and that's the show to listen to.
yeah, man. Yeah, so some of you guys like the 80s music on my channel. He's got all that.
Yeah, I heard some of the music beds he was using. I said, I would love that as a music bed on my show. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I used it a lot last night.
Yeah,
I have a few of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's one of my favorites now.
All right, that's on now. I'm gonna put the hooker.
And put the hooker on.
I'm gonna grab the hooker by the ears here.
Right?
Biggest thing is don't pinch your wires.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from experience. I've done that. I kept blowing a fuse, and it turned out I pinched the wire.
Hold anything?
All right, we got the new strange chromoly slip yoke on. New U-joint. Very free, looks good. One thing you guys will have to do is 0.33 of an inch. I had to take that off, so we're going to see if that works.
That's basically the match to stock one. Again, this is a 31 spline. There we go. Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Bit tight. I like to keep tape around these U-joint caps. Yeah, that looks good.
There we go.
I think we're all done. Let's go ahead and fire this bitch up.
A beautiful sunny Florida afternoon. Not. Faster, 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 faster. Yeah, this part right here is where you should dub in a spinning wheel for blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, so far so good. We good. All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Gotta put the shifter in, put the console back in, but the hard stuff's done.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks, Steve-O.
All right.
There we go. All right, guys. Got the shifter on. I just got to do the console and get all that back together, but I wanted to go ahead and crank it up and see how it felt. First gear. Whoa, that is freaking nice.
All right.
Yeah, boy. Pretty excited. So, take more test drive, but that's it, guys.
speed limit didn't say 25, it said 250. Zero's missing.